Meantime, Vice President Kamala Harris has been backtracking on a slew of far-left policies since launching her presidential campaign nearly 2 weeks ago, from fracking, the border, health care, and forcing Americans to sell their guns to the federal government. Here's some flashback sound. Listen carefully.
There's no question that we've got to critically re-examine ICE and its role and the way that it is being administered.
I am offering a Green New Deal that has been described as one of the most aggressive and progressive.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
Would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes.
You support the Medicare for All bill, I think initially co-sponsored by Senator Bernie Sanders. You're also a co-sponsor on it. I believe it will totally eliminate private insurance. So for people out there who like their insurance, they don't get to keep it?
Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on.
Critics say Harris's pivoting is just a ploy in order to court potential voters, especially in swing states. Besides pivoting on her positions, there was this moment in 2017. Then Senator Kamala Harris fumed at Americans for saying Merry Christmas, while some illegal immigrants were getting protections.
And when we all sing happy tunes and sing Merry Christmas and wish each other Merry Christmas, these children are not going to have a Merry Christmas. How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we? They will not have a Merry Christmas.
Doug Collins, former Georgia congressman, and Richard Fowler, Fox News contributor. Great to see both of you, gentlemen. Richard, you're welcome to respond to that video of her saying, how dare we say Merry Christmas. But she's going to have a lot of explaining to do when she said she was in favor of banning hydraulic fracturing, which means that she is in favor of getting rid of 65% of U.S. oil production and 75% of U.S. natural gas production. That is disaster.
Look, I think there's a definite difference in policy, and policy changes over time, no matter who the candidate is. So I think what we've seen from the sitting vice president is, after being in the job, after looking over the policy, I've decided that there's a better way to do this. And I will say that since the Biden administration has taken office, we've actually seen more leases go out to folks who want to drill oil right here in the United States. So oil manufacturing has actually gone up over the past couple of years since the previous administration.
Doug, I'll let you respond to that. I can talk fossil fuels until the cows come home, and oil production should be a heck of a lot higher in the United States. But let me get your reaction to this. Democratic strategist James Carville has some choice words for giving advice on Kamala Harris. Listen to giving Kamala Harris listening to the progressive left. Take a look.
Understand this, and I'm going to say this as clearly as I can. Anybody that has ever listened to anything that the progressive left has ever said has lived to profoundly regret it. I'm literally on every issue, they're damn wrong. These people are not just wrong, they're literally walking catastrophes. And the fastest people realize that, the better off they're going to be. I wish she'd tell them all to go f themselves.
Howdy, Doug.
Good morning, James. There we go. Look, I think it's interesting, having to defend this right now. We haven't seen this kind of a flip-flop going on since John Kerry back in 2004. I mean, going from one position to another position. And look, there is a difference here. And I disagree a little bit with Richard. It's not all of a sudden getting into the job and figuring out the policies. It's getting into the job and figuring out, now I got to get elected, which I've never had a vote cast for me this year, to elected in these places where these people actually have jobs in the energy industry, fracking in Pennsylvania, the issues of immigration. Look, the interesting thing here is she's got the problem if she has to respond to the Biden-Harris administration. She can't just say it was all good. We know it's not. That's why we're at in the economy. You just talked about it a minute ago. We have an open border. We have issues that are affecting everyday Americans. And then we have an interesting effect is that she's never actually been asked or held accountable why she was quiet when she saw the degenerative condition of Joe Biden. She's not been truthful with anyone, and she won't sit down for an interview. Why? Because she'd rather stay behind a teleprompter, because when she gets off teleprompter, no one knows where she's heading.
Democrats and the liberal media following suit, they're leaning in on this new line of attack against President Trump and J.D. Vance. Listen.
On the other side, they're just weird.
The 32 ounces of weird.
Donald Trump and his weirdo running mate.
And by the way, they are weird.
It is bizarre. It's weird. It is weird.
J.D. Vance, just dumb Vance, is pretty weird.
Weird is perfect vernacular, and there is something weird about these guys.
On Sunday and Monday, the Daily Caller tallied that there were more than 160 weird mentions on MSNBC and CNN. President Trump clapping back yesterday.
They're the weird ones, and if you've ever seen her with the laugh and everything else, that's a weird deal going on there. They're the weird ones. Nobody's ever called me weird. I'm a lot of things, but weird I'm not, and I'm up front, and he's not either, I will tell you. J.D. is not at all.
Richard, how does the word weird work politically?
Listen, I'm not sure how the word weird works politically. I'm actually here in Chicago at the National Black Journalists Association where the president spoke just a couple days ago. And I got a couple things to say. One, I'm happy to be at my black job. And two, I'm a cat owner and I don't think I'm weird. But I do want to go back to a point that Doug made around what the vice president's doing every day for everyday people. Because I do think it's important that you examine her record in this election. And when the vice president became the vice president, there were only 3 states in the United States that extended postpartum coverage to women who had babies on Medicaid. Since she's been vice president, and because of her work, because of her telephone diplomacy, now 46 states have extended postpartum care to women, poor women having babies. And it's worth pointing out, as one of the most developed countries in the world, we have the most women dying as a result of childbirth. So she's actually been doing a lot of things for everyday Americans every day, and it's important that we talk about it.
Real quick, Doug, final word. Richard got more out than Kamala Harris has gotten out in terms of policy in maybe 3.5 years. Real quick, Doug.
Yeah, Richard, I'm impressed, buddy. You ought to go to work for him because you just gave him the whole line, because everything else, but those same women who actually then come home can't go buy groceries because it's 20% higher because of inflation. They can't buy energy because gas prices are so high, and they're having trouble finding jobs. That's a little bit more of an issue that she's going to have to deal with.
Doug Collins,
At least
Richard
they're alive,
Fowler.
Doug. I mean, that's a real problem.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, your economy is a bad problem, Richard.
Let's go. Thank you, gentlemen. I can also talk about the risk of childbirth till the cows come home, but I'm wrapping it up, gentlemen.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.